Hi. Today's lesson can be a little bit confusing, especially the very first part that they're asking you to do with this bat length thing. Basically, what you're looking at is you have a baseball player up here, and the first proportion that they're giving you is that a baseball bat should be approximately half the height of the player. Okay, so you have a proportion of 1/2, 1/2. Okay, so we're going to be using this piece of paper right over here, obviously. Okay, so you have a proportion of 1/2 is what you're looking at for your baseball bat. So then they want to know, okay, if I give you the height of this kid, okay, can you figure out how long the baseball bat should be for that person that is basically half? And yeah, there's two different ways you can do this. Obviously, you can figure out what half of each number is, or you could do the cross products if you want to. So for instance, okay, I want to know if my student is 58 inches, okay, tall. We want to know how tall the baseball bat should be for that person, okay? The bat is one of the pieces out of the two pieces that make this baseball player. Okay, so the top number represents what you're looking at for your baseball bat. The bottom number is the whole height of your baseball player. So we're trying to figure out what the height of the baseball bat should be if our player is 58 inches tall. So yes, you basically need to know this part. If somebody asked you, if I asked you, if you were asked on a standardized test, to take the information and write this as a proportion. Okay, writing it as a proportion means they want to see two fractions. So my fractional parts would be, I know that my comparison thing over here is 1/2. That's 1/2 for my baseball bat compared to player, and my unknown compared to a 58-inch tall player. So I've written it as a proportion, two fractions. Now, most of you could probably go through and do 50 divided by 2 is 25, 8 divided by 2 is 4, put them together and you have 29. I hope we figured that out. Okay, so what you basically were asked to do is actually just to write it as a proportion. They actually didn't even ask you to determine the amount, but in this particular case, x is going to equal 29. Okay, then they ask you to take again the second one. If it's 60, if your player is 60 inches tall, your ratio is still, sorry about the bouncing of the camera, is still 1/2. Okay, the 1/2 is referring to our baseball player here and the baseball bat. Okay, so now they want to know, okay, what if my baseball player is 60 inches tall? How long should that baseball bat be? And that's going to be up to you to figure out what half of 60 is. The final one they give you in the book over here is 64. Okay, and again, our ratio is 1/2. That's the baseball bat and the player. Okay, and they want to know, okay, what if my player is 64 inches tall? Okay, how long does that baseball bat have to be? So you need to figure out what half of 64 would be. Okay, so now you have three numbers. They're now going to give you a chart down here in which there's more information. Sorry about turning it sideways. I hope that does it for you on here. They're giving you more information that somebody else came up with a different format. Okay, and they actually added in the weight of the student or the player in there as well. Okay, what you're basically being asked to do is, according to up here, if I have a player who is 58 inches, tall, that they should have a baseball bat that is 29 inches long. You're basically going through and seeing how many of these results up here, okay, match with what's going on down here. Are any of these numbers the same as the ones that we came up with doing these 3 problems up here. And you're going to end up circling those in the chart, which ones actually match from this set of criteria, which is pretty easy, 1/2 of the height of the player, to this one, which is a little more complex. Do any of this systems match this system? That's what they're asking.